you go. And this question just bothers me so much about wrestling today because I can't even watch it for 12 seconds anymore. But to me, what makes wrestling are the heels. I mean, anybody could be a good guy, right? I mean, so on and so forth. The heels are what makes wrestling. Why do you think that the heels today are not even close to what they were in the 70s and 80s? Why can't they get the heat they used to get?
Social media. So somebody commented, I'm gonna bring up two wrestlers, and there's only two in my lifetime that stuck with who they were till the very end. My father and the Undertaker.
And the Undertaker, okay.
And the Undertaker. Mm-hmm. They never changed. Like they never went in public and did movies and did social media and like it now granted people love the Undertaker, but if you were to go back to the 80s, and I've mentioned this before, my dad built his career on dislikes.
Right.
Imagine if you had a Instagram page and the only thing they measured was dislikes. My dad was voted the most hated person in America in 1985.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Like, and I'm telling you, when I was a kid, there was times we would leave the arena and the hospital the ambulance would take us to our car. My dad would have all the stuff covering over so they didn't know who he was. We'd get to the car. This is in Philadelphia and Boston. And we get in the car and we're trying to drive off. Somebody told them where all the fans told us where they were, and they tried to turn our car over. And I'm in the car. And my dad's pushing me into the floorboard going, it'll be fine. Police have to push them off the car so we can drive to the next town and do it over again.
That's amazing.
And you'll never see that again.
No,
people even hate the Ukraine like they do my dad.
Yeah.
Russia, excuse me.
Yeah, right. I'm going to let you go, but tell me if you think these two things have anything to do with why bad guys can't get heat today. Social media, I definitely agree with 100%. The first one is making money with paraphernalia. Because when I was a kid, I never wanted an Iron Sheik t-shirt. You know, nobody.
I don't know.
Yeah. And the other one is
that was anti-American.
Yeah, there was no way I never wanted an Iron Sheik t-shirt, right. Or honestly, or Mr. Wonderful t-shirt. You know,
absolutely. That wasn't his t-shirts he sold were Paula.
Yeah, yeah.
That was his number one. That was his number one merchandise. It was a t-shirt. It was a black t-shirt with yellow words said Paula.
Okay, yeah.
That was his gimmick, man. But it was legit. Like that was my dad. Like
right.
That's method acting at its best. So if you want to know what the number one issue is, why there's no heat, nobody wants to be disliked anymore. No, everybody wants to be liked.
And since you know wrestling is very corporate and they want to sell. And the other thing is political correctness. You really can't pull the shit you used to be able to pull in the 70s and 80s.
Can you?
They don't. I don't know if they
think
can.
About it. Think about
they
it.
Don't.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If you did, wouldn't you get heat?
Oh, big time. But you'd get canceled too.
Nobody can handle the heat is the issue.
Okay. Is that what you think it is? Okay.
Absolutely. Because if you have to have, if you're okay, if the only thing you're worried about is your stock price, you're not willing to take that risk. And there's a reason. Independent wrestling it's no different, you know, like it's all, you know, acrobats and that kind of stuff. Nobody's working a hold. Nobody's doing the dirty stuff and being the bad guy.
Like so you don't think
my dad when he walked in the ring, do you remember him ever raising his hands to getting people's attention?
No,
unless he was mocking Hulk Hogan.
That's right. Yeah, he was just took off. Yeah, absolutely. He had an.
Why do you think Brock Lesnar still has a career?
Oh, okay. Very good point. Okay. All right. So you don't think political, you don't think that, because they said, I remember back in the day, you know, you questioning somebody's manhood or questioning somebody's ethnic background, or you know, or Macho Man would throw his wife in front of, you know, the good guy to protect himself from him. You know, I don't, you know, I remember in Piper's Pit when he was feuding with Tony Atlas and he was telling him, how are you going to train? Are you going to eat, do you eat soul food? You know,
So there's obviously a measure of irresponsibility from back then. I'm not dismissing
Mhm.
what you don't have to, but my dad never said those words and got just as much heat.
Good point. Very good point. That's
Period.
very
I'm sorry.
valid. Very
You don't
valid.
have to get heat by being a racist.
Very valid. Very, very
That
valid.
is a cheap way out.
Yeah, very
And
valid.
we should respect every human being, but we can diminish them as a wrestler all day long and not attack their culture.
Yeah.
And for us to go back to what they did would be irresponsible and disrespectful. My dad got heat because he was against Hulk Hogan,
Right.
not because Hulk Hogan was white, not
Right.
because Hulk Hogan was blonde, because he hated Hulk Hogan. Period.
Very valid point. Never thought of that. That you're 100% right, and that actually changed my opinion. That's right.